You're cooking a recipe and it asks for a quarter cup of milk or 50 milliliters of oil or a pint of vegetable stock. Why are there so many different units of volume? And what if you could just know by heart all the units of volume? Like how many ounces are in a cup, which is one of the most asked questions on the internet. In this video, we're going to look at 3 systems of volume units: US Customary, Imperial, and Metric, which is the standard according to the International System of Units. Before you get angry at me, the short answer is 8. There are 8 fluid ounces in a cup. But let's delve deeper. Somebody asked, we discuss some of the most asked questions on the internet and beyond. The US customary system is based on the imperial system used in England at the time of colonization, which had its roots in both Roman and Anglo-Saxon units. Originally, they were created and used for the measurement of wine and beer. All the units used in the system have a mathematical relationship to each other. To better understand it, let's use this simple table. Every unit in this table will perfectly fit multiple times inside the units below it. The exact number of times is marked by the numbers between each. So 1 gallon has 4 quarts, 1 quart has 2 pints, 1 pint has 2 cups, 1 cup has 8 fluid ounces, 1 fluid ounce has 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon has 3 teaspoons. To calculate between units farther apart, you must multiply the numbers on the sides. Let's say you want to know how many tablespoons are in a pint. You simply multiply the numbers between the 2 units. So, 2 times 8 times 2 equals 32. And how many teaspoons are in a gallon? 3 times 2 times 8 times 2 times 2 times 4 equals 768. So, if all you have in your kitchen is a teaspoon, you can still measure all the other units precisely by multiplying. The imperial units used today were implemented in 1826 and are now used in Great Britain and Canada, but both countries also use the metric system. The current imperial system is only slightly different from the current US customary system. The proportions are similar to the units of volume in the US customary system, with a key difference in the fluid ounce, which affects its proportion in relation to tablespoons and cups. The proportions can be calculated just like the US customary units. For instance, in order to know how many tablespoons are in a pint, you simply multiply the numbers between the 2 units. So, 1.6 times 10 times 2 equals 32. Here, because the ratio between a tablespoon and a fluid ounce isn't an integer, it would be more difficult to measure a fluid ounce with a teaspoon, but you could still measure all the other units precisely with a teaspoon. The metric system was created during the French Revolution as a standardized system where measurements were based on the Earth and the natural world, which can be easily and widely applicable. The system's volume measurements are based on the concept of the meter. A meter is the distance from the equator to the North Pole, measured along a meridian that passes through Paris, divided by 10 million. 1 meter divided by 100 equals 1 centimeter. The genius about the metric system is that it can easily be divided or multiplied by 10, making for multiple useful gradations. The milliliter equals 1 cubic centimeter. If you multiply it by 10, you get 10 milliliters. If you multiply that by 10, you get 100 milliliters. And if you multiply that by 10, you get 1 liter, which equals 10 cubic centimeter or 1 cubic decimeter. And so only 2 units can measure almost all volumes we use domestically today, the milliliter and the liter. If needed, we can use the simple equation 1000 milliliters equals 1 liter to convert between the 2. All the other units we've seen so far can also easily be measured in milliliters with acceptable rounding. 1 US teaspoon equals 4.92 milliliters. Most countries just use 5 milliliters as teaspoon measurement because it's much simpler. 1 imperial teaspoon equals 5.9 milliliters. 1 US tablespoon equals 14.78 milliliters. The International Metric Standard uses 15 milliliters as tablespoon measurement. 1 imperial tablespoon equals 17.75 milliliters. 1 imperial fluid ounce equals 28.41 milliliters. 1 US fluid ounce equals 29.57 milliliters. Most countries just use 30 milliliters as a standard. 1 US cup equals 236.58 milliliters. 1 US legal cup equals 240 milliliters. 1 imperial cup equals 284.13 milliliters. 1 US pint equals 473.17 milliliters. 1 imperial pint equals 568.26 milliliters. 1 US quart equals 946.35 milliliters. 1 imperial quart equals 1.14 liters. 1 US gallon equals 3.78 liters. 1 imperial gallon equals 4.54 liters. In order to obtain a rounded measure of all these units in milliliters by heart, all you have to memorize is fluid ounce. Knowing that 1 fluid ounce is around 30 milliliters, it's possible to calculate the measurements in milliliters of the other units. For instance, how many milliliters are there in a US gallon? Multiply the numbers between fluid ounces and gallons, and then multiply that by 30. So 8 times 2 times 2 times 4 times 30 equals 3,840 milliliters, and that's a pretty good approximation. There you go, a simple way to calculate all these measurements by heart. Google also has an excellent converter online, but if you're a big nerd like we are, you'll enjoy doing the simple maths instead. It'll take almost the same amount of time as typing the question. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, you might also like one of the suggestions we've picked for you. Also, subscribe for more. We upload a new video every week discussing some of the most asked questions on and offline. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave it in the comments. It might become our next video. See you next time.